Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about how I saved my first $10,000 while being a student from Romania. Before I start, I want to talk about my background. I was born and raised in one of the most poorest country in Europe, and my childhood was a very ordinary one. My parents were simple folks from Eastern Europe. My mother was a math teacher and my father was a policeman. So while I was a child, a lot of the emphasis was put on my education. This philosophy that when you invest in the education, you get a lot in return. So this was my philosophy during my childhood. After I graduated high school, I really wanted to get into the American university. I thought that this was my ultimate goal. So I applied to a bunch of different schools. I passed the TOEFL exam to get my English level certified at the international level. And eventually I got into NYU with the campus in Abu Dhabi to pursue my chemical engineering career. I wanted to become an engineer. So this NYU scholarship kind of was my first big win in terms of money. So my education gave me some financial foundation. I got $80K a year as a scholarship to stay in Abu Dhabi, to be on campus. I got free meals 3 times a day. I even got flight tickets paid by the university to go back to my country and return to Abu Dhabi during the holidays. So I didn't have much to spend the money. A big thing about this scholarship was that it included also an allowance. We had $300 allowance per month. This was huge for me. At that time, I was only 18 years old. I was just starting living alone. I was on campus. Everything was provided, even the books. So I didn't have much to spend my money on. While my peers were kind of taking advantage of this, let's say, not very generous, but good amount of money for that time. It was 2018. They tried to travel more, tried to buy a bunch of stuff, to go shopping and so on. But something inside my head told me that I have to save the money, maybe not the whole sum of the allowance, but at least some percentage. I started saving 50%, then 60%, and up to 80% of my allowance. And this gave me a strong starting point. So by the end of my first year at NYU, I had around $2,000 in my bank account, which for me was a huge amount of money. Then after a year in Abu Dhabi, I had some family issues and I had to move back to my home country, to Moldova, which is a small country in Eastern Europe, squeezed between Romania and Ukraine. After that, during the summer of 2018, I reapplied for university in Romania to get my bachelor's degree in statistics and economical forecasting. I was living in a small city in Romania, and the buffer that I had of $2,000 was very, very useful. I also got the full scholarship in Romania as well, so I didn't have a lot to spend my money on. My parents were very supportive during that time. So after a year of the university in Romania, the pandemic hit and everything was closing. I had nowhere to go, like travel and so on. So again, I didn't have much options to spend my money on. So I still sat on those $2,000 in my bank account. I really wanted to buy a car because of the pandemics. The buses were really crowded and the schedule was really messed up. I was going back home pretty often, so a car seemed like a natural option, like a very logical option for me. I started looking for cars, but you cannot really buy a good car for $2,000. So I was a bit hesitant. Then in March 2020, the lockdowns hit hard, so everybody was closing the borders. The economy was not doing really great. So I sat in Romania in my apartment, which I was renting at that time. So I sat and I was thinking about what can I do with those $2,000. And one day, during the shopping, the casual weekly shopping, I saw this beautiful car in the city. It was a Tesla. So back then, Teslas weren't that popular in this part of Europe, and it was a very special car for me. I never saw a Tesla before in real life, and I got really curious about the car. So I went home and Googled it, and actually it was pretty interesting for me to find out about the company, the history, the founder, Elon Musk, their brand principles, their vision and mission, and so on. So it was a very sexy car for me. It was really very futuristic, and I started to desire this car. But of course, it was very pricey. With some money saved and with a gift from my parents for my birthday, they knew that I wanted a car, so they gave me an additional $1,000. So I had $3,000 in my bank account to find a car. So after this research, I kind of got interested into stocks. I found out that the Tesla was trading on the stock market, and I almost bought some stock. So during that lockdown, I got interested in the stock market. I opened a brokerage account in this app called Revolut. It's the Robinhood of Europe, let's say it like that. 2 days after that, while I was listing and browsing different kind of stocks and securities, I found out that everybody was closing borders. US was closing the border, and the stock market plummeted. So it was like a crash in March of about 40% in a few days. And at that time, I knew almost nothing about investing in the stock market, but something inside my head told me that I should look into airlines and cruise companies, because it was like an obvious, with lockdowns, planes were not flying, cruise ships were not going into the cruise trips and so on, so they were hit pretty hard. I remember buying some stocks in airlines, some stocks in Royal Caribbean, and after a month or so, 1 or 2 months, I noticed that even with the fluctuations, they were very volatile, but I was up on my portfolio 10%, so it was my first small win in the stock market. In May 2020, I got into Tesla again, and I sold all of my shares in airlines, in cruise ships, for a 20% profit, I think. So I was again thinking about buying a car or investing further. And with lockdowns still going on, I decided that I should take all of this money and invest into Tesla. It was a big risk, of course, obviously, but it was kind of the right decision for me because I researched a lot about the company. The stock was undervalued. I think I bought a little over $3,000 worth of Tesla shares. So all of my money, everything that I had, I put it into Tesla stock, and it was very risky. I remember watching my account going up and down, up and down. I bought the Tesla stock at around 700 price mark, and I hold it because I truly believed in the company. And after 6 months or so, the Tesla stock skyrocketed to about $2,500. So it was 3 something X for me. And this is the moment that I saw $10,000 in my bank account, and I was really excited about that. This was the first time in my life that I had this huge amount of money for me as a student. I was just finishing my bachelor's degree and looking into starting a new job, and having this $10,000 mark proved me that I can achieve more with the stock market, and I should think about money in terms of assets and liabilities. And buying a car at that time with $3,000 could bring me joy short term, but in the long run, not having a car and buying stocks made a huge difference for me financially, and shaped my future investing, because I took profits from Tesla and invested into my first real estate property in Romania. It was in a small town, so we bought a really small apartment studio, like 35 square meters, but it was really happy moment for us. Everything is possible in the end if you think before doing anything and you have this financial literacy. So invest first of all in assets that will produce you money long term rather than liabilities. And I think it's okay to dream about cars and luxurious stuff, but first of all, you should ask yourself if you can truly afford the stuff that you want to buy. And it's really fine to have a wish list that will motivate you in the long run. But the most important thing, even on a low income, is to put your money to work and find opportunities, find assets that can 2x, 3x your capital. There is also the, I say, boring investing into ETF and mutual funds. It is really great stuff, but it didn't work for me because it was very slow. First of all, I wanted to invest into growth, and I risk it all, but the reward for me was really huge, and 10K might not sound a lot, but for me at that time was really some life-changing money. And I want you to educate yourself in that direction. Go watch a bunch of YouTube videos regarding finance. Start with some demo brokerage accounts and really investing either in yourself or in the stock market can make huge difference for you in the long run. So this was my short story. Hopefully it's gonna inspire you in some way. And till next time, see you.